So hey, Hubie, you want to hear a joke?
Yeah, I do. What is it?
Woman's rights. Can't do anything.
What you say? Who are we? Women! What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
Equality is motivation, equality is the conversation. Abby Adams says we want our voice heard. Sojourner Truth A, and I a woman too. Declaration of Sentiment, Seneca Falls, yo. Yeah, it's a life we'll earn. Susan B. Anthony Stanton too. Employment and income rights, divorce laws, bro. National Women's Suffrage Association. Alice Paul's hunger strikes, thanks for helping. Couldn't give up, so we had to protest. We use striking, we bout change. We see amendments ahead that we gon' pass. We never fear death or dying. We only fear never trying. We are whatever we are. Only God can judge us now. One shot, everything rides on our fight. Even if we've got no rights, we'll go for it. This moment, we own it, and we're not to be played with because we can get dangerous. See these women I ride with. This moment, we own it. And the 19th Amendment be the one that grants suffrage, voting all up in the booth. Yeah, if you're looking for us, you can find with by the White House with our picket signs. My new right, it's mine right, but that ain't enough. We fight on.
And no way around it.
What we want, tell you what we want. Working hard, repping all my girls. Do this every day. No stopping, looking out for all, making sure we rise. Discrimination finally dies. We fight till we die, making progress. We never fear death or dying. We only fear never trying. We are whatever we are. Only God can judge us now. One shot, everything rides on our fight. Even if we've got no rights, we'll go for it. This moment, we own it, and we're not to be played with because we can get dangerous. See these women I ride with. This moment, we own it. Rosie the Riveter changed my life. We make the big guns. Yeah, we can do it alright. It's the Civil Rights Act and the EOC. Got the victory, the end of sex discrimination. Femininity by my girl Betty Friedan. Revolution, second wave of feminism. NOW leading women now. That's right, fellas. We stepping up. Stuck to the plan, always think that we would stand up. Never ran, Roe v. Wade, the right to abortion, yo. Been down since day one, look at where we came from. Jumping out on anybody who tried to say so. One thing about it, got a problem, we got the same one. Issues come, we fight. Many rights we own, follow the same code. Never turn our backs, our rights are in our control. One shot, everything rides on our fight. Even if we got no rights, we'll go for it. This moment, we own it, and we're not to be played with because we can get dangerous. See these women I ride with. This moment, we own it.
In the next part of our project, we're going to be interviewing a student from UConn.
Hi everyone, my name is Mega. I'm going to be a senior at UConn next year. My major is molecular and cellular biology, and I'm a women's studies minor.
Alright, so our first question for you today is, what do you think your role as a woman in society is?
I think it's most important to empower women, encouraging them to, go into more fields that primarily you would see more men in, primarily like engineering or lawyers or even doctors. Like, it's more important to empower women and to encourage them that it was okay to go into these high paid, not paid, but powerful positions. You can see even in our pop culture women like Oprah Winfrey, even President Susan Herbst, the first woman president of UConn, like they represent like really, you know, strong women figures, and I think that's important as a woman to show that.
So our next question is, have you ever seen or experienced discrimination because of being a woman?
I think everyone in their everyday lives can see something like that. Even in high school, I'm sure, you know, if a girl walks down the hallway, like no one's not gonna like look at them. Like if someone's wearing like a short like skirt or like a short like short, someone like look and like make a comment, like that's kind of directing towards your question. But in particularly, I can't recall a situation, but I've heard of one, and it has to do with a student at UConn. Actually, she was a senior that wrote a letter to President Herbst about the logo change at UConn. As most of you, I don't know if most of you guys know, but like UConn's going through a whole like you know, whole change of like their logos and like, you know, whole new branding of, you know, their university. And one of the students wrote a letter to President Herbst because she was very angry, as most students were, about like the change of the husky from the classic Jonathan to a more aggressive husky. And she wrote this letter saying that you know, instead of promoting this aggressive husky, we should look to, you know, to not see it as a bad thing, but as a good thing, and not encourage like more aggressive like sportsmanship and athletics and stuff like that, which it's primarily used for. So through that letter, she was attacked. She wrote, most people thought her letter meant that the new husky logo promoted rape. That's what most people thought the letter was said, but that was not what the letter was directed towards. Her take on it was like, it aggravated a lot of people, but you know, from that backlash, she was emotionally and verbally attacked. People would send her emails, like thousands of emails, and like her, even Glenn Beck on his show, you know, bashed her and said that, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about, a raging feminist. But her whole entire goal out of this was to make a positive change, not a negative, which was promoting a more aggressive husky. So that's just one example. Because she was a woman, I'm sure if like a male were to respond or send an email to President Herbst, not that much would have made it out of it, nothing would have happened. But since she was a woman, saying all these things, how you know, the husky promoted rape, and how the athletic teams aren't really, you know, aggressive, but
All right, our last question for you today is, if you could change one thing about the perspective of women in society, what would you change?
I think the most important thing is changing the culture in general about how women are portrayed, especially through like media, the news. As you can see, even in like pop culture, in music videos, I'm sure you guys watched a lot of music videos of how like women are, you know, even in rap videos, how like they're so like sexualized, and like they're not really even considered, like they're like, you know, dancers in the background, and there's like 50 women and like there's one guy, and like, you know, they're seen as like these sexual things, and it's showing that, you know, the male is more powerful and the woman is more vulnerable to like, you know, abuse, be like, it's just, you know, just a lot of negative perspectives you can see even through like the pop culture. Another example is seen in like magazines. Like I'm sure you guys look at a lot of magazines and like billboards and like the malls. Like you can see like these high fashion models are like shown like on the floor, and like guys are like laid on top of them, and showing that like, you know, the male is more dominant and the woman is more like submissive. And so I think it's more of a cultural change once we realize that, you know, this is a problem. Once everyone does realize that, you know, this is a problem, then like there can be a change. Otherwise, if no one goes and recognizes it, not just women but also men, then, you know, there can be a change. Otherwise, I feel like there cannot be anything done.
Well, thank you for taking your time out to talk to us.
You're welcome.
What did she say? What you say? That you only meant well, cause you did.
Equality is motivation, equality is a conversation. Abby Adams says we want our voice heard. Sojourner Truth, A, and I a woman too. Declaration of Sentiments, Seneca Falls, yo. Yeah, it's a life well earned. Susan B. Anthony Stanton too. Employment and income rights, divorce laws, bro. National Women's Suffrage Association. Last call, Congress, thanks for helping. Couldn't give up, so we had to protest. We struggling, we about change. Nation united to head that we gon' pass. Never fear death, we're dying. We only can never try it. We are whatever we are.
How was it? How's your experience in the truck?
Everything rides on our fight. Even if we got no rights, we'll go for it. This moment, we own it, and we're not to be played with. When do we want it? We can get dangerous. See, these women I ride with. This moment, we own it. The 19th Amendment, we want that suffrage for all. Yeah, we push the violence like what happened to the
You guys are such idiots.